Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to episode 5 of Past and Picture Podcast. Yay. Okay, so this week's my episode, and I decided literally maybe 2 days ago, I wanted to do Jurassic Park. Now I'm talking about Jurassic Park 93.
Yes.
Not Jurassic World with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Which is a remake. So I love Jurassic Park.
I'd never seen it before until last night.
So I got Tony to watch it. So we could talk about it today. Because it's a great little film. I love it. So we'll go over some information about the film, then we'll go through the film, and then we'll do some fun facts at the end.
Okay. I'm ready.
Just before we start, I'd also like to mention, please follow Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter/X.
It's just Twitter.
Please. We could really do with more support.
Yeah.
I feel like we need more.
If you don't follow, I'll cry.
Tony will cry.
And that's on you.
She's on the edge of tears right now.
Yeah.
So, Jurassic Park. It was released in 1993, so it was made during 1992.
Before I was born.
Before you were born.
Were you born?
Before I was born. Yes.
But only a little bit
4
before
years
you were born.
before I was born.
10 years before I was born.
Yeah.
My mum and dad hadn't even met yet.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, Jurassic Park, it's directed by Steven Spielberg. It was written by Michael Crichton and David Coop. The music is by John Williams.
Slay. John Williams always does a slay job. Everything he does. Star Wars, everything.
So Jenna Marbles had a video years ago, and she would sing the Jurassic Park song, everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And, she'd be in the shower, and she'd be like, da, 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 da. You know what? It's great music.
It is.
So,
iconic. Even though I'd never seen it, I knew the music.
Everyone knows the music.
So
I always feel like the music for Jurassic Park and Harry Potter is so similar. It's
they're
the
both
same
John
motifs.
Williams, that's why.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, right. It's the same motifs. It's the same notes
and Star Wars
stuff.
is John
I'm
Williams
whoa,
as well.
Yeah. And I'm like, every time I hear Harry Potter, I'm like, I can hear dun dun, and I'm ready for it to go da na na na, but it's not. So anyway, the film is also produced by Kathleen Kennedy, Gerald R. Mullen, and Richard Attenborough.
David Attenborough's brother.
David Attenborough's brother. So the old guy in the film is David Attenborough's brother.
Yeah.
We're going to go to some facts later on about that.
Okay.
The film won 3 Oscars as well, which was great for the
really
time.
Good.
Spielberg, when this film came out, it beat the highest grossing film, which was Spielberg's E.T.
Wow.
So he beat his own record.
That's pretty good.
And then in the next few years, Titanic came out, which then,
but that's not
again, it's not James Cameron.
No.
So that then overtook Jurassic Park, and then Avatar came out.
James Cameron again.
Cameron again, yeah, who then beat his own record.
Yeah.
I think Avatar is the highest grossing film of all time at the moment. So Avatar is the highest grossing film, and then it's Avengers, Avatar 2, Titanic, Star Wars, Avengers, Spider-Man. Jurassic World is at 8.
Okay.
That's Jurassic World.
That's a new one.
That's Jurassic World, yeah. 2015 that came out. Lion King, and then Avengers again, which I'm not surprised about. Barbie's 15?
That's really good.
That's boss.
And it only came out recently.
Yeah, 23. So the budget for the film was 63 million.
Okay.
Opening weekend made 47,026,828
in 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Friday, Saturday.
That's really good.
I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday is opening weekend.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, which is really good. It's not quite what they it's not quite the budget, but it's only been out for 3 days. Not everyone can go on that weekend. However, the gross worldwide is very impressive.
Okay.
1,114,456,337.
Wow.
And again, this is just the cinema. This does not include toys.
Oh my god. Right. I said I wasn't going to do it. Jurassic Park has had a terrible impact on dinosaur toys everywhere. Okay? So don't buy your kid Jurassic Park merchandise, please. Sorry, Steven Spielberg.
I'm sorry, Tony, they don't make Jurassic Park anymore. They make Jurassic World.
There's a YouTube channel called Your Dinosaurs Are Wrong.
Yeah.
And they get shipped in toys, and they tell you all the inaccuracies with it. Love it so
Please
much.
send me that.
It's so good.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously the merchandise for Jurassic Park is, I don't have a figure on that.
I went on the ride
I don't really
in
think there
Universal.
is. Yeah.
I've been on it.
And also Jurassic Park was written by Michael Crichton, who wrote the book in 1990.
I didn't know it was a book.
It was originally a book.
Wow.
And then he wrote the screenplay for it as well.
Yeah.
In 92, because Spielberg wanted to he wanted to work on Jurassic Park, and then he left the post-production up to another well-known director so that he could go and work on another film. Can't remember what it was. Sorry. So let's go through the film. The film opens with immediate danger.
It does. I literally WhatsApped Amanda going, this opening's very stressful.
It is, yeah. So this could possibly show the audience that the happy front of the park hides dark realities.
True.
So at the beginning of the film, that guy gets eaten.
Yeah.
He's one of the 3 people that are killed on the island. Which I think, again, only 3 people die.
I could watch the people get killed. As soon as he put animals anywhere near them dinosaurs, I skip through it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like the goat?
The goat and the cow. Oh
don't
my god,
see-
not the cow. They put the cow in with the velociraptors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd skip through that.
Oh,
I couldn't
yeah,
cope with
no.
that.
It's harsh, isn't it? Okay, so then we meet our two paleontologists, Alan and Ellie, who
Love
are
them.
our 2 main protagonists. Alan is obviously the main
Oh,
guy.
they're a couple.
I don't know. I think
Because-
they're work colleagues.
No, because later on, the cool guy
Mr. Malcolm.
says, are you two together? And he's like, yeah,
Oh, does he?
I think so. Because he's trying to flirt with her. But he did
okay.
successfully flirt with her and she was flirting back, so in front of... So
Alan.
I don't know.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know whether it was confirmed or not. And they were talking about having kids.
Did they?
Well, they were talking about kids.
Shows you how much attention I paid.
Ambiguous couple.
Maybe they're poly.
I don't think
Or
so.
if they've got an open relationship.
Maybe they got over. No,
In the 90s? Don't think
I
so.
don't know, no.
It was the 90s. Okay, so again, Alan and Ellie, they're working on a dig, and the funder, Dr. Hammond, played by Richard Attenborough, asks them to come to his park and basically say, this park is great. I want you to come see the park, tell everyone how amazing this is, and I will continue funding your dig for 3 more years.
Yeah, at first they were reluctant, and then he said,
Yes,
I'll fund you for 3
because-
more years. And they're like, yeah.
Why are they reluctant?
Because they want to do their dig.
Because it's a refusal to the call.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I told you it happens in every film. There's a refusal.
I'm never going to watch anything in peace ever again,
no, you're
Amanda.
not. You're not.
Oh my god.
Okay, so anyway, they
I can't believe
they
that.
basically refuse it.
Mind blown.
They refuse to
Go to the island.
yes. But Mr. Hammond then says, I want you to come to the park. He says no. And he says, well, I'll give you 50,000 extra every year for 3 years
And
to
that's a
fund
lot.
your dig.
A lot of
money back
a
then.
lot of
a lot of money.
A lot of archaeological expeditions are so underfunded.
Yeah.
In life. So that's
Yeah.
true.
I really want to go on an archaeological dig.
I feel
just
like
for
it'd be
fun.
a bit more boring than you think, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I bet you, 99% of the time you're not doing anything.
To be honest, I'm someone who I like working with my hands. I like doing stuff. I like making things. So I reckon if I just had some headphones in, I had a little digger, like a little mini pickaxe and a little brush,
Minecraft.
I'd have a whale of a time. Me,
Minecraft.
I would.
Have you ever had those little sets that you can get from National
No,
Geographic?
no.
We should get one, shouldn't we?
I should absolutely.
We need to go to a museum with a good gift shop and they have them in
Yeah,
there.
I was looking at going to Bath.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to come?
Yeah, good.
It's only 3.5 hours away.
Okay.
We could drive to Bath for like a weekend.
We'll do a podcast episode.
Go
in
and do
Bath.
go and see the Roman
In the
structure
baths.
baths.
Yeah.
Go to some museums. I reckon I'd be boss.
Okay.
Anyway, back. So after we're going to see Phantom of the Opera, and now we're going to Bath.
Yeah.
We're just two besties.
Two besties.
Two besties that love museums.
Yeah.
And shows.
Yeah.
Musical theatre. Okay, so in that scene, that's where we meet Mr. Hammond, and he's the mentor for the film, through the film.
I had a bit of a crush on him.
Did you?
Yeah. What's this?
Richard Attenborough?
No. I thought we were talking.
No, that's Mr. Malcolm.
Oh, Mr. Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
Whose name we only find out in the second film.
Oh.
He's always Mr. Malcolm in the first film, and then in the second film they're like, Ian.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the guy with the leather jacket on. He's a cool
Jeff
guy.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he slays in that film. So in that scene, we meet Mr. Hammond and he becomes the mentor. In the next scene, we meet 2 men and they're talking about stealing embryos. And this is Dodgson,
How gross.
who is he's like a rival company guy, and Dennis, who is
an employee,
the employee at Dinosaur Park, the Jurassic Park. Yeah, okay, and they're basically talking about how Dennis is going to steal these frozen embryos and give them to this rival company so that they can basically do the same thing and make loads of money. So they
very
give him,
unethical.
Yeah, they give them £750,000 like up front, and then Ellie and Alan agree to go to Jurassic Park, and when they're there they obviously see the dinosaurs and they are astounded because they don't.
Amazing, that scene where she's not looking and he turns her head and then they see it was so
and
good.
Then Richard Attenborough's like, welcome to Jurassic Park.
It was really good.
Yes, it's the best, one of the best scenes in the film, and that's where we get that classic line from. So then we meet Jeff Goldblum, who is Mr. Malcolm, and he tells us that life finds a way. So we find out, the scientists tell us that all of the dinosaurs are female. Girl boss world.
Girl boss world. I
Girl boss
messaged
world.
Amanda going, they're all girls?
Yeah.
Girl boss.
Girl boss world. So that the dinosaurs can't breed out of control, basically.
They're playing God. They
are playing God,
everything.
They also mention that the animals are lysine deficient. So if they don't have enough lyceum, they will die within a week.
Yeah.
So they know
completely in
they
control.
can't breed.
And they can't leave.
And yeah, well,
they can't leave because it's an island.
They will die within a week without human intervention.
Yeah.
So they're speaking to the scientists. And that's when Mr. Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, the one that you love, says, well, life finds a way.
He was doing some proper dramatic monologues.
He is the herald.
Yeah.
So he is warning us. He's warning us, but it doesn't take a scientist to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's a chaos mathematician, actually.
He is a chaos mathematician. He talks about string theory and stuff.
Yeah, and he's like, look at this drop of water in your hair. He's like flirting with her.
Yeah, he is. And then we hear a cow get viciously eaten by raptors. The film alludes the raptors are going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah. No, there was so many times in this film when I went, that's going to come back later.
Yeah.
That's going to come back later.
Yeah, you know it is. So the raptor keeper, the game warden, tells us how intelligent the raptors are, especially the biggest raptor.
I need to let you know now.
Yeah.
The velociraptor is the most inaccurate part of this film.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, it's like a 6-foot turkey. No, they're the size of a normal turkey. Not a 6-foot turkey. They're the size and strength of a normal turkey. Yeah. But they do go around in herds. So if you were the size of a chicken, big trouble. But not for us, really. Just kick it, wouldn't you? No, that's cruelty. I wouldn't kick it. I'd kiss it.
Yeah. You'd kiss it. Over dinner, Mr. Malcolm tells us again the dangers of the dinosaur island, basically saying that, like, you're crazy. This isn't going to work. It's not going to work out at all. What you think? And Elian and Alan agree with him.
Yeah.
They basically go, yeah, no, we agree. This is crazy. This is a crazy idea. You're mentally unstable. Richard Hammond. Oh, Richard Hammond! It's because that TikTok you sent me of Richard Hammond.
I love Richard Hammond.
Richard Attenborough. And then Mr. Hammond, because his name's Dr. Hammond. That's where I'm getting it from. So then Mr. Hammond, Dr. Hammond, brings his grandkids in, and we get to meet them.
From them. They were really, really
Ali
good.
And Ollie?
No.
Ali. The girl's called Ali. Yeah, Mr. Hammond brings his kids over, well, his grandkids. And I love watching old films because it makes me think, like, wow, times have changed. Because I've written down the kids get excited about CD-ROMs and touchscreens.
Oh, they do.
They do in the car. They're like, it's a CD-ROM.
No, he was so cute.
Like, they're not even used nowadays.
He was so cute. And then when he had his little dinosaur book and he was like, I've read your book. And then he was like telling loads of stuff and he just kept shutting the door on it. I was like, oh no. Yeah. Because that's me. That was me. That's me now.
The kid loving dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's literally me.
And then he was like, I read this other book and it was like 15 times bigger than your book.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, kid.
This is me.
And then we keep getting reminded about the 7 p.m. departure for the boat off the island.
What is that called?
What do you mean?
Because you remember in Coraline, it was like the thing over the moon.
It's a time limit.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. There's always a time limit.
Yeah.
They've got to get there by a certain time. So it keeps going over the radio. You know,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Sam Jackson's there. He says, well, over the radio it says you need to be there at 6:45 for departure at 7. Like drop everything that you have at 6:45 to go there.
It's like be there or die.
be there or die, basically.
Not really, but
there's
a storm coming.
There's a storm coming, but at this point we don't know that there's a storm coming, which is why the departure time is 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we then hear about 101 things going wrong already. I obviously don't think that there's 101 things. I think that that's just...
It's just, like, too much
hyperbole.
going wrong. Yeah.
It's just, like, they're going, oh, well, there's, like, 101 things, 151 things, whatever.
Yeah, we shouldn't be
that's
conducting
going
this
wrong
tour.
already. So we already know danger from the opening scene, plus the time limit, plus Mr. Malcolm telling us things aren't going to work out.
Yeah, we knew something was going to go wrong.
And now all the tech people as well being like, there's so many things going wrong right now. So the park isn't ready, but Mr. Hammond is pushing. He's like confident.
Yeah.
He has too much confidence that this is going to work out.
Needs a reality check, and
he
will
hopeful.
get one.
Yeah, he does eventually. Alan and Ellie then leave the car. So Mr. Hammond puts Alan, Ellie, Mr. Malcolm, and the 2 kids on like a ride.
It was like an electric car.
It's an electric car.
I was like, whoa, 90s electric car.
Yeah,
whoa.
exactly.
Yeah.
He spared no expense, as he says.
Yeah.
So they put them on this car, and then they find a sick triceratops. So they get out.
Oh, don't, because triceratops is my favourite, you know.
They get out of the car and they find this sick triceratops with the gamekeeper. And then they figure out why the dinosaur is sick. So the gamekeeper obviously doesn't know.
Yeah.
Because I think that the people that they've hired for it are like game people who kill game.
Yeah.
They go out and kill animals. They're not actually vets. They don't. They wouldn't know what was wrong.
The reason they figure out that it's something to do with the plants. Yeah. Because Ellie is a paleobotanist.
Yes.
I think that's such a cool job. Paleobotanist.
It is.
So she figured it out. Well, in the opening scene before we see the first dinosaur, she's there looking at this plant and being like, this is from the Cretaceous, this shouldn't be here, this shouldn't be here. And then she looks and there's a Brachiosaurus.
Yeah. So then, she finds out what's wrong with the Triceratops.
She thinks so.
She puts her hands in poop and stuff to try and figure out if they're eating these particular plants, which they aren't. Yeah. And then we find out that a storm comes in and the boat has to leave before 7 o'clock. Yeah. So the time limit is even shorter. Yeah, so they're basically telling everyone, like, the storm is coming in faster than we expected. Drop what you're doing right now. Get to the dock. Yeah. Go to the dock.
And no one listens.
Well, everything's happening because Dennis is trying to steal embryos and crashing into closing the park down and stuff. Yeah. So then...
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
So Dennis pre-plans, obviously, from what we've seen earlier on, he pre-plans to shut the park down, to remove all of the power from the park, so that he can go in, steal the frozen embryos, and give them to this other company. Yeah. And we know that he's the worst liar because he's all, like, stuttering and sweating.
He was so bad. Yeah. He came over and he was like... Hey guys, so just need to let you know that the security's going to go down in a minute, and like, you don't ask why, you don't need to know why.
Yeah,
like,
don't worry about it. It's just going to happen, and it'll come back on straight away. Yeah, it's not a problem.
Fine. Okay, I'm going. Bye. I'm going to get some chocolate now.
Bye.
Yeah,
do you guys want
vending machine? Bye.
Yeah. So then he disables the enclosures and locks his computer, and then it's up to Samuel L. Jackson to try and bring the stuff back online when they're like, where is Dennis? He's been gone like 20 minutes.
And his computer's going, haha, you don't know the password.
Yeah, that's when they tried to put the passwords in, yeah. So the people in the car are then stuck and the car stops working because the power's down. There's an electric car, yeah. So then earlier on, they tried to like get this T-Rex to come and show them while they're in the car.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you go to zoos and you're going past the enclosures and the animal isn't there, and like the kids are all annoyed because like the tiger's like inside. It's that happened with the T-Rex, so like it wasn't where it was meant to be looked at. It was just like out of view.
So they got a goat.
Yeah, to try and lure it out.
So they went around the park a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they ended up coming back. The goat was still there. The park lost power, and then the car wouldn't go. Yeah. So they're like, oh yeah, the goat's now gone when they come back.
Uh-oh.
And then that's because the T-Rex comes out, chomps on the goat, and then the leg of the goat lands on the top of the car.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, in the Japan version,
doesn't happen. Does just the leg or the goat?
The leg and the blood and the gore isn't included in the version. Yeah. And then we finally see the T-Rex. The enclosure wall breaks and the T-Rex escapes. And then I've put, the CGI ... so some of the CGI is questionable, but again, we need to be like, it's the 90s. So the T-Rex was actually physical. It was a physically made.
It was like an animatronic.
It was an animatronic, yeah.
Okay, Five Nights at Freddy.
Yes, exactly, yeah. There was like the ghost of a dinosaur in there. Malcolm says, "Ugh, I hate being right all the time."
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
You don't have to be sexy and intelligent as well. Leave some of it for the rest of us.
Chaos mathematician, of course, he's intelligent.
Yeah.
But
so
he's like a cool...
He's
like the cool teacher.
He's the cool teacher, yeah. So obviously, I mean, we all know that this wasn't going to be a good idea because it's a film. So the T-Rex then ends up rocking the car and trying to get the kids inside. And the kids are freaking out. They've got the lights on. And
they're like, you need to just stay still because you can't see if you're still... That's not true about T-Rexes, by the way. But some animals... I can see why that's true because some animals are like that.
Well, they wouldn't be able to... I don't know if you could smell them in the car or not.
I don't know.
Don't know if the car's smell-proof.
I don't think so. But like, you know, that whole thing with emotion. Some animals are like that, but T-Rexes aren't like that. But
yeah. So anyway, the kids are freaking out in the car. And they're like, what the heck are these kids doing?
Of course they're freaking out at dinosaurs trying to eat them.
Yeah. So then the T-Rex rocks the car. And then the famous T-Rex chase happens with Jeff Goldblum. And then... So there was a lawyer man in the car with them as well. Yeah. It was all like, yes, money this, money that. Yeah. He runs off, obviously, when he sees the T-Rex because he's terrified. And he runs into a toilet.
Like a little shack with a toilet.
Jeff Goldblum gets like a flare and he's like, hey, T-Rex, chase me. So anyway, the T-Rex chases him. And the T-Rex then crashes into the toilet. The whole building falls down and it's just the lawyer man sat on the toilet.
Cowering.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And he gets eaten by the dinosaur.
Yeah, like full on chomped by the dinosaur.
He does. And then Alan and the girl, Ali, they start to abseil down the enclosure, down the side of the enclosure.
It's crazy stuff.
While the T-Rex then pushes the car off the cliff.
And it nearly hits them, but a very close shave does not hit them.
But Timmy, the kid, is in the car.
Yeah.
So they're like, how are we getting out of this? Ellie and the gamekeeper then go out to get the kids and the adults that are stuck in the car because they are like, right, the park's down, we need to go out and, you know, find them, make sure.
But they don't know that all this is
they don't know that everything's happening. We're then told earlier the dinosaurs in the enclosure are venomous. Oh yeah, yeah, a Diplosaurus.
I don't know what it's called. The ones with the big frills around their neck.
Yeah. So we're told earlier that those dinosaurs, we didn't originally know this, but since they've made it real, they've now realised that it's actually venomous. Okay. So they're like, just be careful around this enclosure because we now have realised that it's a very dangerous dinosaur. It's not just a scavenger, what we originally thought. Yeah. Dennis then tempts fate by calling them stupid. So he goes in, he crashes into the enclosure.
Like, hey, big dummy, and then of course it's not going to go well, is it?
Yeah. So then obviously the dinosaur sprays him with his poison.
Is that when he tries to play fetch with it?
Yeah. So it sprays him with his poison.
That would have worked at night at the museum.
Yeah.
Playing fetch with it.
And then it mauls him in the car, and Dennis dies. The embryos are lost because they go down that little bit of river.
Yeah. Well, they had a time limit of when the embryos needed to be given as well, so I think that would have been up anyway. So it was the lost cause, really. Yeah. And then Alan finds Timmy in the car wreck and he's alive. Ellie arrives, searches for the others, notices Mr. Malcolm's on the floor. He's put a tourniquet on his leg because he's bleeding out. And then they take him to the car and they find the other car. They find the foot tracks, but there's no sign of Alan, Timmy or Ali. Yeah. The T-Rex then returns and chases them away. And that's another famous scene with Jeff Goldblum on the back. The only famous scene that I know is when the cup with the water. Oh, yeah. And then the kitchen scene later on.
Yeah. Love the kitchen scene. Yeah. I remember watching it as a kid. It terrified me.
I've seen that scene before. That's the only thing I think I've actually seen.
Yeah. So we then find out that the little girl is good with computers. So it says in passing,
she's like, I'm a hacker. And I went, I can see exactly where this is going. What's it called? Ex Machina.
Ex Machina.
Later, she's going to Ex Machina this.
I guess so. But there's another Ex Machina.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Okay. I remember watching it and being like, Ex Machina. And Stephen was like, yeah, baby. So it's basically just dropped into the conversation, and Timmy's all like, well, you're a hacker.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not a hacker, I'm just like really good with the computers.
Yeah.
So then Alan...
No, I think he calls her a nerd, and she's like, no, I prefer the term hacker.
Or something like. Alan finds eggs, but the dinosaurs are female.
Oh my goodness.
How are they reproducing? They're all female.
Chaos theory.
Yeah. Malcolm again.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
So
I'm always
basically,
right.
in some species of animals now, it happens in clownfish actually.
So the way that the film do it is they splice the dinosaur DNA with frogs.
yeah.
And when frogs are in a female or male dominated pack, one of them will turn the opposite sex so that
Yeah.
they can then
It
reproduce,
happens
which
in
is what
clownfish
happened
as well.
Yeah.
So actually, Nemo's dad, after the mum
Became
dies,
his
is
mum.
Nemo's mum.
Yes.
So life finds a way.
Life finds a way. It
Yeah.
will find a way.
And it did.
It's
Because there was
fate.
eggs.
Yeah. But all the dinosaurs are female.
Oh my goodness.
And then Samuel L. Jackson can't override the system, so they have to shut all of the power off in the island, which means shutting off the raptors. But Dennis didn't
Yeah.
shut off the raptors because I think they alluded that he knew the raptors were too dangerous to let
Yeah.
out, but
Yeah.
everyone else would be fine.
But now they kind of have to
But
do
now
like
they
a
have
forced
to.
reboot of all the systems.
Yeah. Not unless it was premeditated that he knew not to shut off the raptors. He knew that they were going to shut down the park, but he would be long gone by the time the raptors came out to kill everybody
yeah,
else.
yeah.
You could say that happens, or, you know...
I don't know if he thought that far ahead.
Yeah, I don't think he did. So, yeah, they can't override the system. They shut the whole power off the island. Alan and the kids watch the T-Rex feed on another dinosaur.
Yeah.
So they're all running, and he's like, wow, they're like flock animals. They're
He's
running
so
like they're running
cute,
away from a
'cause he's-
predator.
He's so happy because he's like, oh my god, all of our theories were right.
Yeah,
So he's like mesmerised, and the kids are like, they're running this way.
they're running to us.
Yeah, and then he's like, uh-oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then they run away.
Because he literally says it looks like they're running away from a predator, but he doesn't put two and two together in
Yeah.
his head. He's like,
Yeah.
he's just watching them.
Yeah.
And then obviously the dinosaur comes out and goes, rah,
Yeah.
bites down on one of them, and
Yeah.
they're like, he's like, wow, nature. And the kids are
It's like,
terrified.
Bessie, you're in the nature
Yeah.
documentary right now. You need to, like, get moving.
Yeah.
And they're in the tree, aren't they?
Yeah, they
It's a
hide
really
underneath the
lovely
tree.
moment where they're all snuggled up
Terrified.
in the tree, and they wake up and the Brachiosaurus
Yeah.
they're munching,
Mm-hmm.
and they're stroking it,
Mm.
and I would cry.
And then Ellie decides to find Dennis. Oh, sorry, no, decides to find Samuel L. Jackson. So Samuel L. Jackson says, right, I need to go to the other side of the park to flip these switches back on
Yeah.
so that we can get power again, because it's like a main switch. He obviously doesn't come back. So she then decides to go out to find him, see what's going on. She then turns the power on while Alan, Ali, and Timmy are climbing over the electric fence. So they
It was
know
like
it's
the
off.
splice in the scene. It was like she's flipping one switch, then you'd see them climbing, then she's flipping
Yeah.
the next switch, then you'd see them
Yeah,
climbing.
it was tense.
tense.
It
It
was. It was great direction.
Yeah.
This is why Spielberg's like so good. And then obviously while Timmy's still on there, the fence switches on,
It's like,
and he shoots off like a puppet.
yeah, and they
Like,
catch him.
and he catches him, yeah. And then Ellie is then chased out by the raptors.
Yeah.
Um,
No, because she's like, the guy who she was with, his arm was through the door, and she was like, oh my god, hi, I've done it. And then she takes hold of the arm, and it's just a
it's
severed
just his
arm.
arm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's like, ah. And then the keeper, the gamekeeper, he also is then eaten as well by the raptors.
Yeah. He gives me, have you watched Kingsman?
No?
You haven't watched Kingsman?
Oh no, yeah, I have.
You know
Sorry.
the guy who like dies while he's singing Country Roads?
Yeah.
Same energy, I think, from them too.
What's that guy's name? He's a dead famous actor.
But you know when he's like singing Country Roads as he stood on top of the mine?
Yeah, yeah.
Aw.
So the kids finally find the main visitor centre, and there's all that food out. So they start to eat the
They're buzzing,
food because they're obviously starving. They've had a busy day.
And they're
They
kids,
feel
and they see a
safe.
cake and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, Matilda moment.
Yeah, so true.
So they start eating dinner and they're chowing down, and then all of a sudden Ali's face changes and she's like,
And then you see the shadow.
the shadow of the raptor.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my goodness, we're in for it now. So they run to the kitchen to hide, and this is where the best cinematic film scene I've ever seen in my life. It's so good. Well, because I watched it as a child.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
If you're going to tell us about the projection in a sec.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Fume.
I noticed it as well.
Fume about that projection. So anyway, the kids run to the kitchen to hide, and they narrowly escape there, running in and out of.
Cupboards.
And then the reflection bit. Oh, I forgot that happens, and I was watching it like I don't remember it dying. And then obviously the raptor hits her reflection, and she runs out, and I was like, "That's so good. That's so clever."
Yeah.
If I was her age, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I'd be a goner. I would have just been like, yeah.
I would have tried to hug the dinosaur.
Yeah. Oh, dino.
Like, no, I would have still been with that sick Triceratops. I wouldn't have abandoned it.
They wouldn't have left
place.
it, no. And then the projection.
Amanda loves this bit.
I love
She's
this
spoken to me
bit.
about this multiple
So the raptor stands up and he puts his head like in front of the projector, and you can obviously see that someone has just smashed a load of random buttons into this projector. But I feel like in that scene they could have done so much more. They could have put like
somebody's
danger
in the middle of writing the email, like being like,
yeah. They could have been a really great scene.
or it could have just been an article about velociraptors.
Yeah, it could have been like power down, beware of raptors, man-eating raptors, or something like that. But
for some irony there.
they didn't. I feel like they could have done that.
You write a letter to Steven Spielberg and let him know.
Tell him to change.
Tell him to sort it out.
Change it. Yeah. So then Alan and Ellie obviously find each other. They go to the control room. They find out that Ali is like into computers and hacking and stuff. She's able to figure out Dennis's coding because it's 2 million lines of coding, and I don't know how a young girl could do that. I couldn't do that.
Genius, isn't she?
Yeah. And then the raptors break the glass into the room. The gun jams, so they then have to flee while the raptors chase them. So they flee into the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then when they're cornered by the raptors, Deus Ex Machina, the T-Rex somehow sneaks up on them and eats the raptors.
Ugh.
That's the Deus Ex Machina that happens in the film.
course.
So Alan and Ellie and then the kids all escape. They go onto the helicopter and off they go.
And then they're all there looking really sad. The guy whose island it is, he's there like looking so sad.
Who?
The guy whose island it is in the helicopter, and he's like
Hammond, Dr. Hammond, yeah. He's all like, my island.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
I was quite sad because I thought, because I've seen that scene of the Diplodocus, you know, where they go away on the boat and it's just there while the island's exploding and it's just on its own.
That's in
I
Jurassic
thought
World.
I was going to
Jurassic
see that,
World, yeah.
and I was like bracing myself for this heartbreaking scene because they're my favourite. And I can't be dealing with that.
That was a really sad scene.
So I thought that was going to happen, but then I was on FaceTime to Levi and he's like, no, that's not that's not this one.
Fun facts.
Yeah.
Fun facts on the film,
Woo.
which I quite like. Spielberg offered the role to Alan first to Harrison Ford.
Interesting.
Indiana Jones.
No,
I feel like Alan's character was very Indiana Jones. He had the hat.
It was, but I feel like putting him in it, all I'd be able to think about is, oh
Indiana
my god,
Jones.
it's Han Solo.
Yes,
The whole time.
Han Solo. Yeah.
So I'm glad
I feel
they
like he would have
didn't.
been great in that role anyway.
Yeah.
But I was really happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really glad that it was Sam Neill.
Okay. I agree.
In the book, Timmy, the little boy, was actually the oldest, and he was the one who was into computers originally. So they
Interesting.
gender switched the roles round.
I think it could work both
Yeah,
ways.
it works
And
both
we wanted a
ways.
girl boss computer moment. So
Yeah, I think that they wanted some more like young female representation.
Yeah. Considering it didn't pass the what's it called,
The Bechdel test. Yeah, I was going to say that it doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
Nothing passes the Bechdel
There's only
test.
2 females
We're not
named
passing
in the
the
whole
Bechdel
film.
test right now
Why?
because we're talking about men.
But the whole thing's not about a specific man, and it's usually the protagonist.
Okay.
So it has to be about something that's not related to a man.
Yeah.
Spielberg lured Sir Richard Attenborough out of a 14-year acting retirement to be in the films.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
14 years.
If
he's
I
been
was
out
in
of acting.
retirement, no, but he's probably made so much money from this. I mean, if your brother's David Attenborough,
Yeah, exactly.
big boots to fill, innit?
Yeah. So the T-Rex roar, do you know how they made it?
How?
It's a
Is it a
mix.
lion?
It's a mix of a baby elephant with a tiger and an alligator.
All in the same room on the same day with microphones.
Yeah. And they
Recording
recorded
the
it.
podcast together.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So they smashed that all together to make the T-Rex
Yeah, because we
roar.
don't actually. I don't think there is anywhere. Well, there is kind of a way of knowing, but no soft tissues
No.
preserving fossils. So
No.
there's not really any way of knowing
I've
what
seen-
dinosaurs sound like.
I've seen some TikTok videos where like a T-Rex roar is like a very low guttural
I've heard ones where it's
sound.
like.
I've heard ones where it's like
I've heard ones where it's like.
like a very low sound. And also the breath is a whale's blow.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So Jurassic Park the ride, we spoke about
I've been
this
on
earlier,
it.
which Tony's been on. The cost of that ride was almost twice as much for the film.
That's mad. That
120 million
it wasn't that good.
for the water ride.
Jesus, it was a good water ride.
Yeah.
Like, but
So
I wouldn't say it was that good.
They were very excited about the film and very excited about how successful the film was going to be, that they started working on the ride before they even began making the film.
That's insane. So what if the film flopped?
Exactly.
Well, you just
They must have just been like, we've got great actors
you
in
changed
it.
the ride because Tower of Terror
Yeah,
in California is now Guardians of the Galaxy themed.
Yeah.
So they just changed the theme of it.
probably.
But like that's mad. That
They were so
Confident.
confident. Well, they had Richard Attenborough, they had Jeff Goldblum,
I know, but like
and
still,
Steven Spielberg
can
and
still
Williams
flop,
to make
like.
the music. It can, but I think because Spielberg was at his height, he had like multiple films,
and everyone was going to go
top
watch
grossing.
a Spielberg.
They
film.
were gonna go. People,
Yeah.
it was a blockbuster because people were gonna queue around the block.
Oh, that's all that means.
Yeah,
Crazy.
if it's a blockbuster,
Wow.
it means that people will queue around the block
Not
to
anymore.
see the film.
They'll just
No.
go on Netflix.
Yeah, or
Disney
stream
Plus.
it, or
Other websites.
other non-allowed websites.
Yeah.
And then last fun fact, in the helicopter ride, Alan has 2 female ends of the belt buckle.
He does. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
And he ties them
So,
together.
mhm.
Makes it work.
Makes it
Life
work.
finds a way.
So he has the 2 female ends of the belt. He ties them together, foreshadowing all of the female dinos will eventually reproduce or mix together.
That's so good.
In my head,
Do you
when
think
I
they
saw
did that on purpose?
yes,
Okay.
everything. So I don't know if you know what mise en scène is.
No.
It's French for like what's on scene. Everything that you watch in a film is intentional. There's
Okay.
nothing unpurposeful that you'll see in a film. So that scene was purposeful. I think it's
That's
because of
really
this.
smart,
But
that.
when I was watching the film, I was thinking, I didn't think about this because I didn't realise that the dinosaurs were female. But I think
Yeah.
if you watch the film,
Second
go back,
time.
you'd be like, right, I'm onto that now.
Yeah. Wow.
I originally thought that it showed Alan to be... It showed that Alan was able to find a way to make things work
Yeah.
when they're not meant to work.
Yeah.
But
Guess
I
it
like
can be
that
a bit
more.
of both, but that's I like
really
that.
clever.
Yeah.
But that is my talk on Jurassic World
No.
Park.
Yeah.
On Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So-
I actually enjoyed the film more than I thought I would
Yeah.
because I'm a bit of a
It's a good
dinosaur
little film.
fanatic.
Mhm.
And I was like, I know that it's not accurate. No. But it was entertaining if you stop thinking.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was.
Velociraptors.
It's a good film. So me and Stephen are watching the second one. We're probably going to end up watching all of them. There's 3 original films and then there's 3 remakes
Okay.
as well.
I can't promise I'll watch them, but we'll see.
Yeah. So thank you again for coming to episode 5
Episode
of
5.
Past and Picture Podcast with me, Amanda.
And me, Tony.
Woohoo!
Go on our social medias, please.
We need people to follow,
Engagement.
engage, subscribe, comment, like,
comment,
share.
subscribe, press the notification bell, all that.
Yes.
We want our Raid Shadow Legends
Yes.
sponsorship.
We want a sponsor.
ASAP.
Sponsor. I don't care if it's a $5. I want a sponsor.
If anybody wants to sponsor us, if anyone wants to send
Please
me
reach
money,
out. Pastandpicture
I
at
love money.
gmail.com
send me
for
money.
all business inquiries. Please don't complain. Don't send any complaints.
Yeah.
Unless
Well,
they're,
no, constructive criticism
unless
is
they're
allowed.
constructive. I don't want people to be like, I hate you. This is not good.
Yeah.
I will cry. I'll send it to Tony, who will also cry.
I'll cry probably twice as hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all for listening.
Thank you again for coming.
Next week is a mini episode
A small episode.
on spontaneous human combustion.
Fun.
So that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Love you, bye.